The same year that Mothra vs. Godzilla was released, we essentially got the Godzilla Avengers movie with Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Not only did it introduce Rodan into the new Mothra and Godzilla styled universe that we were going for, it also introduced Ghidorah, who is essentially this version of Thanos. Like, he is the main villain of the majority of Godzilla's timelines, with all the different eras, like the Millennium era, the Shower era, the Heisei era, the Raiga era. I mean, this film itself is very obviously a very big influence on 2019's Godzilla King of Monsters. That's how important this film was. It was essentially remade in a way, in a similar way to how a lot of other stuff in Godzilla's universe has been redone, reworked, etc. This is like the first film which was big enough and important enough to get a massive Hollywood studio to do it again. That's how good and how important this film really is. I can't stress that enough. Now, the film itself centres around a shooting star which falls to Earth and a princess subplot, which is really fucking weird because she may be an alien from Mars or Venus, depending on which version you watch. It's really insane and doesn't really do much for the overall plot, but it's a fun subplot nonetheless, and it has a lot of really bad assassins in it, but obviously like the Shobijin have to appear. They're essentially in for the plot just to give the exposition to let people know what the monsters are actually saying in a very comedic moment. But it's exactly what you'd kind of expect, if I'm being honest. It's a movie where Ghidorah comes and all three monsters have to team up to battle him. That's the plot. It doesn't even have any themes. The closest you could do for a theme, if you want to look really deeply into it, is like the fear of the unknown, but that's more a trope than a theme by this point because it's been used so many times by movies, even by this point. The plot is really useless and it doesn't really do much, but for what it is fun, and the weird spy subplot is really amusing to watch at times. It's just, let's just say it's not going to win any awards. When it comes to the cast, you know the drill by now. They're all rinse-repeat characters as a detective, a scientist, a journalist, like a committee kind of group. We've all seen it before, it's not interesting at all. The closest thing that's actually interesting is a weird princess alien character who's fun for how batshit insane it is, and obviously the Shobijin, who are once again played by the Peanuts for the last time, and they're so good. Once again, I'm really upset that these guys didn't continue on for both Ibira Horror of the Deep and for Destroy All Monsters. They would have been so good in both those movies. It's quite a shame, but they are in this one and they do a really good job. Same with Mothra vs. Godzilla. It's directed by Ishiro Honda, and it's kind of obvious in my opinion which film, when it comes to like directing and cinematography, he focused on more. The tone of this film being a much more dark comedy drama kind of thing, it works really well, with the drama elements mostly coming from the spy subplot and the dark comedy coming a lot from the monsters themselves. It's weird, I will state, but for what it is, it's so good, and honestly this is his best work. The shots in this are insane. Ghidorah Rising is that good. It's been literally reused and redone in pretty much all of his film appearances. That's how good that is, and I think it just establishes how great the cinematography and the directing style really is in this movie. Same as all like the previous movies, the sets and locations are amazing once again. There's so much effort has been put into them that I don't know what else to say. Infant Island for its little cameo, it's great. All the little locations that they use throughout the film, it's great. Obviously the parts where the monsters are battling each other with all the miniatures and stuff, that's great. It's just that good, you can't complain anymore. Finally, after like 4 movies in a row which have pissed me off, the blue screen in this, especially for the Shobijin, looks really good. I have no complaints. It was obvious once again that a bit more effort went into this movie compared to Mothra vs. Godzilla, and that's fine by me because for once the blue screen doesn't piss me off, and that makes me happy. They really did go all out once again. Ghidorah's egg itself as a giant prop looks really damn good. The effects where they actually got like all the magnetic stuff to fly towards it, I'm guessing it was strings and wires and stuff, but it looks great, it looks creepy, and it looks realistic, which is something that you don't expect from a monster movie where a three-headed dragon fires lightning bolts out of its mouth, which, once again, the lightning bolts look great, especially since they were basically hand-drawn. So special effects, 10 out of 10 from me. The music, on the other hand, isn't actually that great. Once again, it's Akira Kube, and it's really let me down. It's similar to how a lot of stuff is kind of obvious that this movie had more attention than the last one. I think that when it comes to the music, he used up all his best work with Mothra vs. Godzilla, because that is my favourite Godzilla soundtrack. This one, it's very forgettable. Mothra's new theme is decent, but with the English version, which is obviously what I'm watching, there's this weird narration over it explaining the translation for the song, and I don't get why. That damages what it could have been, because the song itself isn't even the best, it's probably the worst out of the 3 Mothra songs, but that just knocks it down a little bit more, and the rest of the score itself, it's recycled. Once again, nothing really that original. It sucks because it could have been so good, but it's probably one of the worst parts of this film, which is quite a shame to say. Now for the kaiju design, obviously by this point Mothra, even though it's only her larval form, looks so good. I love this version, with much more thinner eyes, the red style. Oh, I love Mothra, and just seeing her in any kind of form just makes me happy. Godzilla, on the other hand, he still looks good in this movie, quite a step down though from the previous 2. Even though it's not awful yet, it's kind of an indication to what's to come for the Godzilla design with the weird fucking eyebrows that's in like Son of Godzilla and stuff. It's just downhill from here for quite a while. Rodan, who I honestly think is a surviving Rodan from the original film, because he comes out of molten rock. He comes out of dried up lava. That's where the last Rodan was. It's the same Rodan, but moving on. The suit's okay in this one. It gets worse and worse as films progress, similar to Godzilla. But in this one it's still okay, so I can't criticise it too much. And when it comes to Ghidorah, amazing design. How they pulled that off in 1964, I'll never know. Ghidorah is fucking awesome in this. For the film's fight scenes themselves, they have quite a similar style to ones in Mothra vs. Godzilla, probably because they were both directed by Ishiro Honda. The first fight is Rodan vs. Godzilla, and it's so much fun seeing these 2 titans go up against each other. I can't criticise it, it's so much fun. I mean, for crying out loud, they hit boulders back and forth between each other, and then Mothra sprays them, and they laugh at each other. It's hilarious, it's so much fun. The second part is literally just dialogue between them. It's not even technically a fight, but you see Ghidorah on his way just wrecking shit. The comedy in this, with the Shobijin translating, it's so good. I know I don't use clips anymore in these videos, but I'm gonna have to use this one.
Mothra says the earth belongs to them as much as it does to man. Oh, Godzilla, what terrible language!
The next fight starts straight after that, basically, where Mothra goes in by herself to battle Ghidorah, and then both Godzilla and Rodan are like, okay, yeah, this tiny little caterpillar thing has proven that we should kind of stick together, and then there's an awesome final battle. All of them show the different strengths and their abilities, apart from Godzilla's atomic breath because of budgetary stuff, but seeing all 3 of them together during that basically final shot of the fight, it symbolises everything going forward, and it shows the first time Godzilla could ever be perceived as more of a heroic character, which is an arc which continues all the way to Godzilla vs. Ghidorah, which is the 11th film. That's how important this shot is. Three films in a row which are just really fun to watch, which really shows how the reboots of Godzilla worked, why they continued this franchise for so long, even after more and more films got worse and worse, less and less box office. This is kind of a symbolization of why, and it just works. Sorry to quote Todd Howard, but it does just work. Yeah, the score is quite shit compared to what we normally have. The film, with its plots and themes, it's not very interesting to watch. The characters are the most rinse and repeat shells you could ever think to be in a Godzilla movie, but the fights, the characters themselves, the actual monsters, the effects, the directing, all that kind of stuff, it knocks away any kind of criticism you can have, because at the end of the day, this is just a fun monster movie where it's 4 big monsters hitting each other with rocks, and that's all you kind of need from these kind of films, which is why in total I give Ghidorah the 3 Hidden Monster a 7.25 out of 10. I love this film. It's so shit and cheesy, but it's exactly the kind of cheesy you want before it just becomes irritating. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Now, if you head up here, you'll see a playlist of all my other Godzilla stuff. If you head down here, you'll see all my Jack's review stuff. Now, next week, because we're not doing a Saturday one anymore, we'll be going through Invasion of Astro Monster, but until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.